Are we filming? Okay, this is a quick, no planning. I just tweeted about it. I did a video yesterday, I think, or the day before, where I filmed it with my regular camera, and because I didn't want to go live, and I can't get the cable from the camera to the computer, and I don't want to take that apart, figure out why. And then I thought, okay, I'll just take the card out and use the card reader. Well, the card reader isn't working. So there you go. Nice start to the day. So that was just a real short, trying to get myself warmed up. This is part of what I have now. Its working title is the Almost Junk Journal. And the reason that came to me is because I did journaling by fives with Shannon Green, and that was really a good exercise for me because it sped things up. It didn't give me enough time to think. Now I'm going to use some of those techniques, but plan it just a little bit more. And I want this journal to have a shabby chic look. So pale pastels, craft paper color, you know, just girly, not any three-dimensional. Whoops, I forgot I had my music on. Never mind, YouTube will have a fit over that. So all I did the other day was I took two of these pages and gessoed them. It was just a way to get to work, busy work, if you will. And one of them stuck to, I only did two. One of them stuck to the drop paper. I don't know where it is. It's in this pile. So I may have to put stuff on the back of it to hide that, but that's no big deal. What I have done is gone through my stash of Canvas Corp stuff. And believe me, I do have a stash. I found this little book, which came from some crate or something they had out in the warehouse, and it's falling apart. But the pieces are good, and they do fit my little shabby chic thing. So those are going to come in handy, and I can take them apart, and it won't be so thick. So there's one goodie, and that's from the next to the recycle bin stack. I have some tissue paper. This is 7 Gypsies. I'm just going to say Canvas Corp. They're all on the website if they still have them. I've had these for a year or more. Got them in brown. I've got keys. I've got something else. I have a sack of ephemera. This is just a mixture of stuff. And I think if it's too dark, I can always whitewash it with a thin coat of gesso. I've got some trading cards, a single, no, those are doubled. It's a double layer of canvas stitched. That'll add texture. I've got some mini ephemera. I've got some doodle papers, and I do think these have been discontinued, but you can do your own doodle and paste on there. A sampler pack, so I can just go through, look, I can just go through there and pick what I want. I've got some of my coffee dyed paper towels. I've got some of Shannon Green's drop papers. The colors are perfect for what I'm wanting. More ephemera. File folders. I love these mini file folders. And they may get put to use some way over the top of, I don't know. I just love them, and I haven't used them, so they are out. And I'm going to keep all this stash that I pulled in my bag that I got with the big box. Some more 7 Gypsies papers. See? That's one of my favorite papers. I have used it. Anything that looks shabby I don't necessarily want to go into grunge. Old pictures. But see, if I take this and do a whitewash of gesso on top of it, it'll be really soft and pretty. And we got this, doorways and keys, text, old wallpaper, these little cuties. So you get the drift. I've got something like this. I've got text for kitchen stuff, just in case. Recipe card. Sheet of flat canvas. Some old-fashioned advertising and stuff. Some spoons. Some nautical. Some alphabets. I can tear pieces, or I can use and cover a whole sheet in my binder. Whatever I feel like doing. Here's some of the Origins paper, which is on that fabulous paper that you almost can't destroy. But that's really perfect for what for my theme. Another one of those. Are you bored yet? I'm gonna stick with you as long as I can. Got two of those out. I must like that. Here's that paper again. I just love it. And it's got a little silver in the corner where I was experimenting with my painting I did. A girl on top of this paper. So got that. Another Origins. Some scraps of Origins. Gessoed, it'll be great. Some more doodles. And look, I already colored one. Perfect. More music. More good backgrounds. I think I've got that one already. And these are a little yellowish for my taste, but you never know. So I've got plenty of papers. These are some of my doodles. I printed these for sale on my site, and I printed them in 3 values. So I had one that was dark, one that was medium, and one that was real light, so that you could come back on top of them and color them or do whatever you wanted to. So no point in letting those go to waste. Okay, that's all the 7 canvas cork right now. I also pulled 2 pads of paper, and I don't know where they came from, but they've got some shabby chic pieces in there that I may use. You know, one company can't carry everything in the world, and I love the gold on this, and I bought it and saved it. Don't ask me why. And I don't do scrapbooking, so don't ask me why I bought it. So I figure this is as good a good reason as any to use some of it. But mainly the book is going to be canvas cork. So I'm going to put that down here in the floor. Oh. The other thing I talked about the other day with the CDs. Look at this. These are, drum roll please, put a cup of water, let me tilt that down just a hair. Put a cup of water in a microwave and lean a blank CD up against it. Now, you have to be forewarned that you can't see it, that this sparks and arcs in the microwave. We have a newer microwave that I keep watching myself on the iPad. It's delayed. It crackles the silver inside the plastic coating. There, you can see it. It just takes about 5 or 10 seconds. We've got a microwave that has a metal tray inside it, or a metal shelf, so it's already had some kind of a modification. And then on the back side, ooh, that's cool. You can see how it burned through. I mean, you're playing with fire here. All those little spots. And it smells, so you might want a window open, or, you know, or not, whatever. But the chef whose kitchen is in my house said, I'll go ahead, it's not going to hurt it. So I did. And I've got 3 of these. Now, these can be, all CDs can be cut with scissors, so you can make mosaics out of them. And I think I'm going to do some of that through this project. Let me get my book. And I'm like every other crafter in the world. I have a 36 by 36 inch workspace, but I only have 20 inches, 16 inches to play with to mess up. That's what it is. I've also got out some Americana decoupage for paper. It's a different formulation. I am a helping artist teacher, and so I have their product, and I'll be using it for products that CCB doesn't have. This is tinting base. I'm not real sure why my thing just fell off the there. I'm in the middle of an encaustic class, so I've got all my encaustic stuff up here, and I just raised my chair a little bit higher so I could just work on top of my griddle, my warming tray. Anyway, tinting base I haven't used, but it might be good for my whitewash. Here are my 2 gessoed pages. That one's not. Go in here. I may paint. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to start. Okay, that's the most important thing. I've also got my glue box. I have a video on that on my channel, how I made that. After a year and almost a half, it's still good. It's really good for certain kinds of thin papers. Okay. I'm going to skip what I think would be my front fly leaf. You know, it doesn't matter at this point, and because they're all ring bound, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to start gluing some pieces down. And I don't have anybody in my chat. That's what I get for doing it with no notice. But that's okay too. The point is, I'm doing it. Don't know what I'm doing. That's the best way to do this. I could sing to myself while I'm doing it. I know it's Friday afternoon. That's okay. Doesn't hurt my feelers. Look at those colors. Pretty. I'm just going to randomly flip through here and keep pasting some of this. Now when you tear paper, well, let me show you. You may already know this, but be kind to me. If you pull the piece that you want, I want this piece. If you tear that piece back, that's making a liar out of me. Yeah, you can see it. Pull it back, the edge will be thinner because the way the paper tears. If you pull it forward, that edge is right there. You see it? So on darker papers, it's a bigger deal. And the advantage, I guess you could argue, for this kind of work is that it might stick down a little easier because it's thinner on the on the edge. Excuse me while I die here on camera. And I'm just using an old credit card to squeegee it down. And there's no ink on the front of it. I mean, no glue on the front of it, so I don't have to worry about dry time. Uh-oh. No, there is, since I did the wrong side. And the minute that I get on camera, my nose starts running. So this little action is what you can call collage. Doesn't matter if they show up at the end or not. Try not to get too married to it. And I think I can pull off the shabby chic theme by watching my colors, because that creates a mood. Beyond that, no plans. I'm gonna have to talk Shannon out of some more of this paper. There, I got a good example of that. I tore it toward me, which tore the paper layers in half. Both have a thinner side right here. Right here. But if you have a white core paper, you'll really see it. It'll be distinctive. I'll try to remember to show you here in a minute when I get just a different kind of paper. So that becomes a decorative element. Look at me acting like it makes a difference where I put it. Whoops, went part of it in the floor. I'm having to keep my studio door closed because of our aging Schnauzer. And bless his heart, if he was in his right mind, he'd be mortified that he can't hold it anymore. So I had a brand new pad of rice paper, and I came in here one morning and the bottom third of it was wet. So I put it outside, and it doesn't smell, so I'm just going to use it anyway. What's a little yellow stain? It's mostly water anyway. I know, I can hear some of you going, ooh. Just to get something in these pages so they aren't stark. And I am so bad about saving things. That if I don't start it, I won't start it. And when I die, my oldest daughter will say, what did she keep all this stuff for? Except she's a crafter when she's not raising 4 kids under the age of 8. 8, 6, 4, and 2. Shoot me. I have great admiration for her, because I couldn't do it. And her hubby. I mean, you know, he gets some credit. If I do this kind of work on the main covers, I don't really need to jessel them. Scattered randomly through the book. Every once in a while I'll spray my sponge, and sometimes I'll turn one over so that the glue that sinks to the bottom can now be at the top. Here is the paper towel. The other one went in the floor. I made 2 pots of coffee one day in our Cuisinart grinder. Randy was out of town. The chef was out of town. So I had to fend for myself. And both of them went into the floor. 2 full pots of coffee before I figured it out. So I've got all these lovely coffee stained paper towels. Now I'm sure you guys know this, but you have 2 ply. Ta-da! And you only need 1 to glue down. That one doesn't have much on it, but that'll be perfect. I think before I do that, I'm going to put down some of these papers and then come back maybe and try the paper towel on top. Let's see what that does. Of course, you can't really tell because it's not wet. We're going to try it. I'm just going to go through these and cut out some things I like, and it would be nice if I had some scissors. Luckily, I know right where they are. I'm just cutting these in patterns. Let me get up under here. Not fussy cutting. This video, if you're watching it on YouTube, was filmed live with no notice. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notifications bar. No, that doesn't tear very good. It's cardstock. There, you can see what I'm talking about. See the white? That's when I pull toward me. When I pull away from me, the white's on the back piece. See? Oh, voila. And because this is a live broadcast, it's unedited. What I do when I watch somebody else's, because you're picking up a lot of quiet time and cutting time, and we usually cut that on a real video. I usually sit and working myself on the project and just let that go. Look up when you hear something interesting. or sometimes I will sit and watch TV and have one earplug in my ear. Now this is thicker, so I'm going to have to use probably the decoupage will be heavier. Now I can always go get matte medium. Now, I can use some of these as they are, or I can flip them over. I'm going to shake that first. Deco art makes a world of craft level to artist level acrylic paints and mediums, varnishes, some papers, outdoor paints. I'm going to pour a little bit of this in this dog food container. They're wonderful to have around. If anybody lives close to me, I can bring you some. And I'm going to use my credit card again. Okay, and back, if you can see me or hear me, let me know. I don't know why it burped on me, but it did. I'm just going to keep going like somebody that knows what they're doing. Okay, there it just went. And it's back. When YouTube first started these, if you went offline, you had to start on another, video. Now if you go off for a few minutes, they put you right back on. Sorry I called you B, Aunt Beck. You'll probably forever be Aunt B in my mind now. Funny how that works. It's funny how my mind works too. Oops, I put that on a tab page. That's all right. I like putting it on for something small like this in my hand because it's less cleanup. If I use drop paper or an old magazine, I end up getting everything in it. And the credit card gets it on easier than using a brush. In the journaling by fives, if you're nervous about getting started, just do a search for journaling by fives and you'll find Shannon's exercise. And you take an old composition book and every 5 pages you glue together, so you end up with 20 pages. Or, 20 of these, not front and back. And first thing you do is go through and smear paint on them. Your goal is to get a little bit of paint on every page in 15 minutes. And the reason this was good for me is that coming from painting serious, you may plan a painting for a month before you start working on it. And this is no planning, no thinking, and it just encourages the thought that whatever happens, happens. So 15 minutes on the first 20, you'd be surprised how hard that is. Doesn't give you time to panic or think. And then after that's dry, the next 15 minutes, I think it's collage. Okay, we used all of that paper. I'm going to cut some of these cards out. Sad when you like both sides. Okay, so you have 15 minutes to put a piece of collage on every page. Some scrap papers. And the next 15 minutes, I don't have them in the right order, and it doesn't really matter, I don't think. I don't know why it would. Let's see, what else do I want? You will never influence the world by trying to be like it. Be yourself. Anyway, you do a 15-minute session with putting a stamp on every page. So what's that? 3. One of them is lettering, so it would be a word or something cut from a magazine. And the other one is doodle. So when you get finished with it, you've got 20 pages that are covered with all sorts of color and fun stuff, and you've done your first journal. Now you can choose to turn the timer off and go back on each one if you feel so inclined. Well, these are just too perfect to not use them all. You can go back through them and dress them up a little bit, or it's funny because if you're doing it fast, like the 15-minute thing, you'll end up with a picture cut from a magazine with some kind of a word that doesn't relate, and then you think of a way to make it relate. It's really kind of fun. Kind of like this challenge. I made myself the challenge, but to use everything that was in the box in a new and exciting way. And I need some more glue. As I said earlier, I'm using Americana decoupage, and it's formulated especially for gluing paper down. Oh man, I hate not to use that gypsy. Oh well. I think I may have another piece of that paper. If I don't, I know where I can get it. I see somebody else came in. Who are you? Let me know if you can hear me. Who is it? Tracy. Yeah, hey Tracy. Can you hear me? No, this time I'm going back in on the first phase and starting to add some collage elements a la journaling by fives. And I'm using as many Canvas Corp products as I can. And my kind of theme, I'm calling this my almost junk journal. Because it could be a junk journal, but I'm putting a little more thought into it, so it means it's almost. That end isn't going to do any good. See, this is what I do to my credit cards or hotel keys. I don't stay in hotels very much, so I just cut patterns in the end of them, and they become great scrapers when you're doing jelly printing or stuff like that. It's a great tool, and it's free. Tracy, I also gave my hints for watching live videos. Because we don't edit, they can be very boring, like watching paint dry. And I usually have an earplug in one ear and watching TV or working on my own project while I let this play, and then I look up when something catches my ear. So I appreciate you being here. Thanks, Tracy. Isn't that cool, though? Be yourself, and they were perfect backed up to each other. I think I've got another piece of it, too. Have you decided what you're going to do with your goodies, Tracy? I didn't really need one of the boxes, but I can't pass up something like that. And the two binders that were in it were really cool. These are some of Shannon's. Oh crap. No, I didn't. That's okay. Using some of Shannon's drop papers that we traded for the other day. Dream, that's a good one. Trying not to be too picky. This is kind of in between totally random and a little bit planned. Because these are all canvas cork papers, they have a similar look. That's what I'm trying to say. Color is the big thing. Oops, did I use them all? I did. Let's see what's on the back of this one. Oh, there's that dancer. That's a good one. We'll use her. This live video stuff is like walking and chewing gum at the same time. And if you don't have a moderator to manage the chat, you have to multitask. Yeah, I hear you. Like I said, you should see my floor. Okay, where are we now? These are good. Alright, I'll cut these out. And if I had room on my desk, I could use my caterpillar. But I don't. Tear some of these. So here's that edge I was telling you about. Paper has a white core. If I pull away from me, you don't see it. And I may end up using some of these pieces. I save pieces and scraps until they overtake everything. In fact, there's no time like the present. Okay, in the end, I only regret the chances we didn't take. Alright, that's good. I like that better than the joy in the ordinary. That's good, but how's that for planning? I'm going to use one right here. You know, I probably don't need to let my card number show. Goose. Goose. Be your own kind of beautiful. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Ow. Be your own kind of beautiful. I like that. Have a piece of deli paper under there. It would be a protective cover. Just got glue all over my ring. I have some copy paper right here. Because until I know what I'm going to do with it, I don't want to get it hinkied up. Oops, we got a sticker. There, not bad. Creativity is contagious, pass it on. Flowers in my hair, the diamonds around my neck. That's a good one. I just went offline again. I think the internet's doing something strange. See if it comes back on by itself. Okay, it was just my iPad that went silent. Be silly, be honest, be kind. I may not be perfect, but parts of me are awesome. Silly, honest, and kind, because all parts of me are awesome. How about that? I'm already liking the colors, the way they're, I mean, just this little bitty bit. Okay, life is better when you laugh. Sometimes what you're most afraid of doing is the very thing that will set you free. I like that one. I'm using the decoupage what do they call it? Decoupage for paper, glue sealer finish, and it's a little lighter than regular decoupage or Mod Podge, but it's heavier than my glue sponge. Okay, we got that. Now that one didn't have anything in there and it stuck. Have to keep reminding myself to stay in the camera. Scrap pile. Here. Later, Tracy. The other thing about live stream, you learn not to get your feelers hurt when people drop in and drop out. I'm talking to myself right now, as a matter of fact. And like I said, find something else to do. while you're watching a live video, work on your own stuff or stick an earphone in your ear and watch TV. I'm going to keep going until I get tired. Can't wait to get some whitewash. Got to get something on there to whitewash first. Yeah. Look at that. Start overlapping stuff. I like that. I like that all over houndstooth. Talking to myself. That's alright. I'll do that anyway. I'm just happy to be back in the studio. I'm even going to use the label side on the paper. I love using packaging. Definitely the flowers. There went everything off in the floor. And I didn't say a bad word. Ooh, doggies. If I would put up the encaustic, that's taking up all of my side table, even though I've got stuff piled on top of it. Get the watercolor off the other side. I could probably work a little bit better. Almost junk journal. Don't know where we're going, but I'll let you know when we get there. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with the three-ring. Okay, what to do with the credit card. The ring bindings, if I had planned this a little bit better, I might have taken them out of the book, but I can work around them for a while. See, there's just a piece of scrap, and it will look great. Letters, pattern, letters. Trying to stay in camera. That's hard. This is one of the easiest collaging things I've done. And I'm not worried about sealing the top and then having all that stuff dry. The credit card helps you get bubbles, but since this is cardstock, it doesn't really have any. Some of this may get completely covered. Don't fall. Those of you who are just joining me had a pile fall off in the floor, which is nothing unusual. Mixed media is harder than watercolors, oils, soft pastels because of the amount of stuff you got to keep and manage. I think I'm just going to put that whole thing down. This is how my ADD kicks in, guys, so if it kicks in, I'll have to quit. When I start going, oh, that's good enough, just cover the whole page. That's dangerous when I'm trying to paint for serious. But noticing it and knowing what it is half the battle. Kind of don't want to put it on upside down though. For some reason I'm keeping all these about 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch from the edge, and I don't know why, but I think I will keep doing it. Just love these papers. I like the crochet side. Y'all know what antimacassars are? And I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I learned most of my vocabulary from reading books, so I made up my own phonetic pronunciation. It's a real giggle sometimes. Trust me. Oh, I don't want to say that. That kind of makes me sick. Anything that's not stuck down good, I can come back and get it on the next pass. That side's kind of cool, so let's just use a little bit of both of it. I want the, what do I want? I could tear that one in two. I want this side. I want some of the red harlequin. Don't get in the habit of lining everything up. Boy, do I know proofreading marks. I used to set type. I've done a lot of different things in my life. And they all focused somehow around crafts. I looked at that stain and thought, oh no! That glue went through. The second thought is, what difference does it make? And then my third thought was, it doesn't. Because I'm so anal, I think that my personality does better with a target or theme. Some people who are completely disorganized always are used to working on the fly, or like journaling by fives. I'm gonna get in one of my ephemeral packs. I'm just gonna keep gluing. Woo. These little bits are so much fun. Look at there. Oh my goodness. Piece of burlap. I have had more fun painting on the burlap or doing that, taking a wrapped, gallery wrapped canvas and doing something clever on it. The texture's just cool. that I'm going to have to dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to fray it a little bit. Would you come back over here to the middle, just a hair. Texture. Okay, watch your ears, I gotta dry. Okay, that's enough. Just dawned on me that I can take the page out of the book. Duh. Nobody ever said I was the smartest tool in the shed. I could have used my glue sponge on this one. Oh, this is flocked. That's cool. And also not want to stick. Okay, take that page out. Gee, wasn't that brilliant? Here's a tag, isn't that cute? It says one watching, and I think that's me. I don't know about these plain ones. I guess it'll make a good background for something. Look at that, I got them both going the same direction. Instinct, my dear Watson. Paper also has a grain. If you tear it one way, it tears straight. If you tear it the other way, it doesn't tear straight. I did designed wine labels one time, and the paper has to go through the press a certain way or direction so that the label will wrap around the bottle. Interesting little piece of trivia from my past. Bring that down just a little. This could look like leather real easy. Uh-oh. Don't want it right on the bottom. Don't ask me why. I want it up there. Don't ask me why. Save that. Nice khaki colored map. So what I'm going to do is take part of it. Perfectamundo. Oops, upside down. Let's just put this one on straight. Well, now wait a minute. Okay, well, doesn't make any difference then. Big type's going one way and the map type's going the other. It does not matter. Oh, here's a piece of cork. I've got some cork pieces over there, and that's self-stick. So that is definitely going in here. What's the deal? The self-stick doesn't work? Probably melted in the warehouse. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know if I should take that off or not, because if just as sure as you don't, you'll get it all glued in your book and then it'll let loose by itself. That's why you take paper napkins and peel all the extra layers off. Alright, that's good enough there. Get this, oops, this stuff is really thin and fragile. Oops, got a hole. keep my fingernails really short. A, so I don't pull them off, bite them off. And B, makes it easier to do crafts. When I'm really painting, I don't get it all over me. Here's a scrap from one of those other pages. No reason. There's another one. I need to close my glue up, I think. Or at least put the lid on it. There. Uh-oh, I lost my stream. There it is. It's back. No, I don't want that. I accidentally touched my iPad screen when I went to put the lid on my glue. And of course it jacked it up. That's not the side, this is the side with the glue goose. Glue goose. That's what y'all can call me, the glue goose. Hey Jules. Glad you dropped in for a little bit. I'm working on my Canvas Corp Almost Junk Journal with all the goodies that I got the other day. And it's an almost junk journal because I'm kind of planning it a little bit. So my first step is to put something on every page. And not necessarily all at the same time. I'm just kind of doing like Shannon did in Journaling by Fives. I'm using all Canvas Corp papers, mostly, and ephemera. And the stuff that was in the box the other day. And my theme is shabby chic. I'm using Decoupage by Deco Art. Their product line is fabulous. And I intend to come back and whitewash these. They're already unified because they're from the same basic collection. And I'm using a credit card to put it on because I find that less messy. Most of these are cardstock, so my little glue bucket doesn't work that good for that. This way I don't have any glue on the top at this point. Is there somebody in there that didn't tell me that you were there? I'll sick my muse on you or sick yours away from you. Oh, I think I'm gonna go to another page. Wish I could give everybody more notice when I'm going to do this, but have you ever heard of the word mercurial? That's me. Ooh, I'm using the back side of that. These are all scraps from Canvas Corp. And like I was saying just a minute ago, they have unity because they're basically from the same collection. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that text. I've got 2 more pieces of that. The other problem I have with watching the chat is my glasses are bifocals and I have to tilt my head all different directions to see it. When I get a bunch of followers, we'll find us somebody to moderate. Ooh, look at the back of the packaging. Canvas Corp always has best packaging so you can use it. Ooh, that's a piece of, ooh, baby, that's got gold. There's gold in that there package. This is also a great way to use up old scrapbook papers. And if you're embarrassed that they're ugly, use the back side and then paint on top. Or use the ugly side, paint on that. The other thing I do is I save these envelopes, these plastic bags, and because I have my stencils on a hook system where I've got the plastic hook stuck here, except I want the plastic hook up here where the thing opens. So I would put my stencil in it and then hang this, and if the stencil is sturdy enough, I just put the hook direct on the stencil. But these are resealable, so there's no point in throwing them away. Right? Right. See, look at that piece of paper. I don't waste anything with Canvas Corp. It's fun sometimes just to go there and go through their trash. which they try to recycle everything. Okay, this is where we are with this one. Oh, perfect. Y'all know I love Paris. Couldn't have ephemera this good if I'd have spent a week looking at magazines. Time to use up a little more of this scrap stuff. I've decided I really enjoy watching live videos because they're slower paced and you can just kind of listen with one ear, stick the earbud in your ear and watch TV, or work in your own projects, on your own projects. It's kind of like you're not alone, because you're not. Ooh, look at this spider writing. That's perfect. Yeah, let's start another page. Like a lot. This is calming, believe it or not. And I think it's calming to watch. Low energy. I'm gonna ease this one right up in that corner. I would have a mess if I was using a brush right now. I'm concerned about this, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I can always paint over it because it's black. I don't know if y'all heard me or not earlier, but you get a different tear pattern if you pull towards you or pull behind you. That'll work. I was just looking at the chat. Starved for attention, I am. I'm so proud of myself. I started walking a week ago, and I'm walking a little over a mile a day, which is pretty good since I've been trapped in my chair. Almost a year. Some of it physical and some of it mental. So I'm back. I'm in love with these taupe colors and subdued colors. That's perfect for my theme. Use some more of that black polka dot. Canvas Corp sells these ephemera packs too. Sample packs, ephemera. It's the first time I've really used one, and it's great. Here's a receipt from Madame Benjamin Houssier. It's my French. I may not get something on every page, but postcard. Ooh. 1915 postcard. Let's go to a different page. Perfect. Break for a drink of water. I've been saving this for a while. It's the cover from a grease pencil, the Sharpie China marker. It's just been sitting up here on my ledge. But this is the right color, and you can separate them, so there. That's one way to get your desk cleaned off, is to start a new journal and then use whatever's on your desk in your journal. And this will just add a little bit of texture. Stick. The outside of that casing was shiny slick, so this may not work. I mean, yeah, it'll eventually work. We can pretend that this is part of her little grass hut. Coconut fronds weaving in the gentle tropical breeze. And a few of them found their place in her journal. How's that? Watching paint dry. if anybody that watches this now or hereafter wants to see me finish the collage part of these pages, leave me a message, and on YouTube you'll have to do a comment because these messages or this live chat stuff disappears. Anyway, I can either do it, I can do it either way. I guess it doesn't really matter. If I want to film it, I'll film it. You can watch it or not watch it. Okay. See, I like that. That's cool. Okie dokie. Like journaling, I'm not paying much attention to what would fit. I'm not planning. I'm not composing. I guess that's a better word. Looking at y'all. Some more black polka dot. Here's one of those old lettering things again. Let's use it. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. I guess it doesn't matter, it'll come to me. I could use gel pens or just about anything. That's a piece of a map. Get down there and stick. Here's some of the doodles I did and printed them in 3 colorways, so you could 3 levels, light, medium, and dark, so you could color them. So what are you gonna do? I'm going to do a whole page. I get almost the whole thing. Pencil. Just gonna. Oh. Good enough for who it's for. I'm going to cut in about 1/8 of an inch. Make that edge a little neater. Then neater. I mean, it gives it a little bit of frame around it. That's what I'm trying to say. There you go. And that will fit just like so. I'm going to cut a little more off this side, and I'm going to let the whole side go right to the edge. No reason. Seems like the thing to do. Sounds like the thing to do. Okay, that'll work. If I had a big cleaned off place, this would be a whole lot easier. All right. Always go from the center out, and you'll work those air bubbles if there are any. And I'm just going to sneak this credit card. Come on now. You can buy the digital files from my doodles. Go to VickiRossArt.com and the links are there to my gallery and products that I have. Yeah, look at there. Fits right in, doesn't it? There's another little corner. Somebody else just popped in. That'll have to remain out of the book until I get my hole puncher out. Okay, another plastic bag. Stencil storage. And another piece of packaging. I think I'm going to finish up this little bit of glue left in my bucket and then call it sayonara. I'm getting tired. I may set up someday at my easel and just do a live broadcast and you can watch me paint. Be like those shows in Finland where they're mounting cameras on the fronts of freight trains and just film it for hours as it goes through the countryside. And they're wildly successful. Kind of like having a fireplace on your TV. Not enough there. I could use it for texture, but I could also get down on the floor and get some of that other that fell. I just picked two pieces at random. This is on the Origins paper. You can't even tear this stuff. And it's wonderful. You can use any medium you want on it. Put it on a different page. There's a good one. There you go. Okie dokie. Whoops. Angel at the bottom. Pretty cool. Another piece of that spidery type I love. Creating a mood, that's all I'm doing right now. We'll cut around this heart. Can't keep the string though. Okay, you guys, I've about